After completing an assessment, the next step is to review the report. And there's several different ways that you could do that. I'm going to use the example with the candidate work sample. One way you could do that is go back to the task list, and you'll see here that 2 of 3 tasks are completed, 2 of 2 evaluations given. So I'm going to click on the task list, and both these evaluations for the students assigned to me have been completed. So the third task that needs to be completed is to review the report. You could click on View Reports up here, you could click on View Report down here, or you could even go back to this My Assessment tab and click on View Reports here. So there's several different ways to access those reports. In this case, it's really up to your preference, but I'm going to click on View Report here. And the report is going to pull up. You'll see on the left-hand side, the 2 people that I had to evaluate are listed here, and it's going to default on Joe Test first. So here's an example of the report. For this particular evaluation, Joe Test also has to self-evaluate himself, which he has not done that yet. But you could review, go through it. These are all of your how you have rated this particular student, and this is the last page. And you keep going down. Here's the comments, and then here's the self-reflection. And you'll see that there's no data in here, and that's because the student has not self-evaluated yet. So you may want to, if that's the case, you may want to just keep that in mind and go back to that report once a student has self-evaluated. It's important to get to the very last page, because that last page is what triggers that you have viewed the report. And so if we go to the next student, Julia Test, it's going to take us to the first page of her report, and again you'll see your responses recorded, any comments. In this case we don't have an example of self-reflection because the student hasn't done it yet, but again this is the last page. So if we go back to the task tab up here, we now see that the view report has been checked off. 3 of 3 tasks have been completed, and we are at 100%. Students will receive an initial email notification when a report is available for them to view in their portal. If there's more than one assessor for the evaluation, which in many cases a cooperating teacher and college supervisor complete an evaluation, students will only receive the initial email notification after the first assessor completes the evaluation. If there are other assessors who complete the evaluation after that initial email notification to the student, students will need to remember to check back frequently in the portal to view the report once the other assessors complete it. And it is also important to remember if there's more than one assessor, to keep that in mind, to keep going back to the report to see if there's been any updates to the report. And again, if you click on the My Assessments tab, you'll come back here. And one thing that you will notice is that it still says my candidate work sample is 66% complete. Something you can do to refresh the screen is go to the upper right hand corner and click on the down arrow next to your name, and then click on Refresh Account. That should refresh it and indicate 100% for the candidate work sample, and you can see that it has. You can also see that the task list is no longer blue, and that means that you have completed all the tasks.